Rain beats down from the clouds on a dreary Gotham City. One man, dressed as a clown, stalks the city streets even at this late hour. The clown prince of crime himself, the Joker, walks the city streets, drenched to his socks. He carries 2 grocery bags and wears a thin, worn-out grin that sticks to his face like dirt to the bottom of a shoe. Lightning flashes from the sky as he smiles out at the city. His feet clap against the slickened concrete beneath him as he slowly trudges home.
This whole thing could be a cosmic joke played on me by a god with a lousy sense of humor,
he thinks to himself as he paces. The Joker arrives at his hovel, flicking a switch knife open as he strides in. Inside the dim apartment is a baby?
Well, shall we get started, baby?
Joker asks menacingly as his knife flashes out. The Joker's knife flicks out towards the child, but instead of killing the innocent toddler, Joker cuts through the baby's swaddling cloth.
Time to change your diaper.
He croons down at the baby. The baby even smiles happily as the terrifying face of the Joker smiles down at him. With one practiced swipe of his blade, honed by years of severing heads from necks, Joker rips open the diaper bag he's brought from the store.
The little blob sure does sleep a lot,
Joker thinks to himself as the baby nods off.
That makes my job easier.
Then, incredibly, the Joker walks to a far wall and says,
"Better put sharp objects out of the kid's reach,"
before clicking his switchblade away and hiding it away in the top shelf. Joker held the new diaper in his gloved hands.
You'd think the useless little bugger could at least go to the can by himself. Pain in the ass,
Joker complained. He stopped in the middle of the task, his eyes glazing over as he considered what he was doing.
I mean, when I stop and think about it, what the hell am I even doing? Changing a diaper?
The Joker thought, incredulous. But visions of the night prior began dancing in his mind's eye even as he asked. The Joker was racing through an industrial laboratory with Batman right on his tail. Joker turned to catch sight of the man chasing him, but saw only the bottom of a boot racing toward his jaw.
At this rate, it'll come down to kill or be killed between us,
Batman called out to the Joker as he flew out of the shadows and his armored shoe connected with Joker's face. Batman brought his fist back as he held the Joker's collar, prepared to put his old foe down hard and fast if he had to. But Joker caught Batman off guard.
Do it, Batman,
Joker pleaded, smiling as he begged.
On the other hand, the idea of you killing me isn't bad.
Joker's eyes flicked down to the green bubbling liquid below them on the balcony.
The same goop that made me like this all those years ago,
Joker said.
There's a vat of chemicals below. What? It would be simple.
Joker's words caused Batman to sweat as he stood before the clown, unsure of how to proceed. Joker kept monologuing as Batman considered.
Of course, the moment you do that, the justice you believe in would crumble like a stale cookie. All you have to do is give me one firm push.
Joker taunted Bats. Putting on a show, the Ace of Knaves leaned back further against the railing, daring Batman to give him a shove and send him falling to his demise.
The brighter the light, the deeper the darkness. So your darkness must be like a deep, dark cave,
Joker crooned before Batman interrupted.
"Clown,"
he roared.
"I'm sick of your babbling."
Joker only giggled harder. But that instant, Joker took advantage of his opponent's distraction. Hefting Batman by his cowl, Joker used all his strength to hurl Batman behind him over the ledge. Batman careened over the side and fell with a plop into the dubious ooze below. Joker could hardly believe his luck.
Batman melted,
he exclaimed. But within moments, his inner monologue had shifted entirely.
What are you doing?
He thought to himself.
How am I supposed to prove the fragility of justice without you?
Joker hurtled down the stairs into the bubbling substance below.
Don't die, Batman,
he pleaded with the universe as he ran.
Without you around, I'd get bored to death.
As he approached the pit, he saw the form of a black cape floating at the surface. Joker grabbed the cape and heaved it towards the ledge, hoping to save Batman from a grisly death.
Come on, let's pick up where we left off,
Joker cried, but when he hauled the cape onto the ledge, inside there sat only a crying tiny baby. Joker's mind couldn't compute what he was seeing.
What is this? This is his mask, but...
As hard as he tried, even Joker's warped mind could not get a handle on what he was seeing.
No way. Then that's... hold the phone.
His mind whirred aimlessly as he tried to understand. Finally, it all clicked.
Batman's become a baby!
Joker cried out, completely aghast at this realization.
What do I do? What do I do?
He paced and paced, trying to decide on his next steps. Eventually, Joker simply threw his head back and began howling to the sky.
Sometimes all you can do is laugh,
the madman thought to himself as he cackled into the night.
Okay, now think. Think about this,
Joker said as he caught sight of the infant once more. He froze, his smile hanging upside down on his face as he watched baby Bruce begin to well up with tears.
That's it,
Joker whispered softly.
I can raise you, Sonny,
the clown exclaimed as his plan finally formulated in his twisted mind. Joker wrapped the baby up in the Batman's cape and cowl and lifted him into the air.
I'll take responsibility until you grow up again to be a first-rate Dark Knight,
Joker said aloud, promising himself he would care for the child until his nemesis was once again ready for battle. Joker's mind suddenly snapped back to the present.
Yeah, now I remember. I have to raise this rugrat to be a good boy with a strong sense of justice,
he reminded himself as he changed baby Batman's diaper.
This here is reality.
But when he looked down, Joker realized something was off.
What's this? There's too much space.
Indeed, the child's diaper was far too large to be of use. Anger and rage flashed in Joker's eyes as he looked towards the diapers he'd just bought.
Oh, cripes!
He exclaimed.
I accidentally bought the biggest size!
On the table, baby Bruce began sobbing loudly as Joker's hands tore out his hair in frustration.
Do I go out in this rain again and take him back to the drugstore? What a pain,
he wondered to himself, completely unprepared for the type of responsibilities he now faced as a new father.
The joke's on me, and it's not funny!
His mind roared. Sirens blare across the city as Joker performs another daring heist. A cloud of fog and ash billows up from the city streets as the Ace of Knaves' army of goons take to the streets to spread chaos and violence throughout Gotham. One iconic laugh sends shivers through the spines of all that hear it as Joker's gleeful chortles echo across the buildings.
Did you know? Gasoline burns really well when used for evil,
Joker thinks to himself as he watches the city go up in flames.
Burn!
Joker cries out into the night as he fires his pistol again and again over his head.
Burn Gotham to the ground!
As he cackles and grins out at all the chaos in his wake, Joker looks out over the wasteland of his own creation. Joker's eyes find a woman struggling to make her way through the rubble and graveyard of burned out cars. The woman's child, just a baby, tumbles over and cries out as it hits the cold concrete.
Nice!
Joker grins as he watches from his perch. Please, the woman yells as he sees him grow near. Just spare my child.
Can I hear that again?
Joker taunts, pulling his gun on the mother and child.
I love the sound of a brat screaming while the city is ablaze.
Screaming in a state of chaotic ecstasy, the sound of the infant's wails overtake Joker. Suddenly, Joker wakes. He's back in his apartment, and the howling of an infant's cries rips through his slumber and forces Joker out of his dreams.
Wait, I take that back.
He thinks,
There's nothing enjoyable about this brat's midnight wailing.
the Joker's predicament comes back to him slowly as he stands and approaches the child.
Oh, that's right. That rugrat is Batman.
The Ace of Knaves stares down at the toddler, once again weighing his options and second-guessing his plan of raising the child into full Dark Knight adulthood. Presently, Joker has been struggling to keep baby Batman asleep for more than 10 minutes at a time, and the lack of sleep is weighing heavily on his evil head.
What are you crying for?
Joker begged the sobbing infant to tell him.
What have you got to be sad about? Come on, answer me, Batman. I can't tell what you want just by your bawling.
Admitting defeat, Joker took the child and sat on the couch to lull him back to bed.
Give me a break.
Joker thought darkly.
This is like an endless nightmare.
As baby Bruce wailed and wailed, the Joker couldn't help but start to hunch over as his sleep-deprived mind begged for rest. At the last moment, the clown jolted back to consciousness.
Ah, that was close,
he exclaimed, trying to force himself back awake.
I dozed off for a second there.
When the dreary eyes of the Joker looked down at the baby once more, Bruce's eyelids were beginning to sag as well.
All right, he's nodding off. This is my chance,
Joker realized, racing back to the child's crib in desperation. Taking care of the child had been far more than Joker had bargained for, and he'd even started laughing in his own mind as to keep the room peaceful and quiet for the baby Batman. Exceedingly gently, the Joker eased the infant back down into his crib, hoping and praying that the little one would finally get some much-needed rest. But the second the Joker sets the little one down, Bruce's eyes blinked back open, wide awake.
Why? Do you have some switch on your back that wakes you up?
Joker asked, incredulous and angry.
Or is it you'll never sleep again for the rest of your life?
Even on the best of days, the Clown Prince of Crime is an insane and twisted megalomaniac. Clearly, the Joker's brain wasn't faring much better now that he was completely unable to catch any sleep. The next morning, as the burning sun rose over the Gotham skyline, Joker still hadn't gotten any sleep. Whispering, Joker once again tried to lull the baby back to sleep.
You have nothing to worry about,
he promised the child.
As long as you're keeping me busy like this, Gotham is safe. Oh, yes, it is.
The child yawned.
There,
Joker thought to himself.
I've got another chance.
Joker's brain went into overdrive as he tried to capitalize on this precious moment.
Gently, gently. Focus,
he thought to himself.
Imagine he's got a C4 explosive strapped to his back.
Tears fell down the Joker's cheeks as he placed the sleeping infant in the crib.
Now, maybe I can nap for an hour or so,
Joker thought hopefully. Without warning, the deafening sound of the doorbell shook the apartment, ripping the baby Bruce from his sleep. Good morning, the delivery person's voice sounded over the speaker. Delivery from Gotham Co-op. Baby Batman began to scream at this loud and upsetting interruption. Even as the Joker froze, rage and hatred coursing through every vein in his body, the delivery man kept speaking. I'm here with the frozen green beans and ground meat you ordered, the man said cheerily. The Joker began laughing slowly, maniacally. Suddenly, the clown's back arched and he launched into complete and uncontrollable waves of laughter.
What a blunder!
He roared between evil cackles. More tears streamed out of Joker's eyes.
I figured it'd be hard to get out to go shopping, so I switched to the co-op. But I didn't think it would blow up in my face.
Joker's mind was racing.
Unforgivable,
Joker thought as the piercing red eyes flashed towards the delivery person.
I'll burn him to ash.
From his belt, Joker unlatched his gun, the first time he'd done so in days.
You want to know what I hate?
He thought to himself as he strolled towards the door, death hanging in the air around him.
Stupid justice, subservient flattery, and notifications that come at the damnedest times.
But as he walked towards the door to make quick and bloody work of the delivery driver, Joker's eyes caught as he glanced towards the crib. The pooling, saddened eyes of baby Bruce stayed Joker's murderous hand for just a moment.
That was close.
He realized. Joker stared at the boy.
I almost did something detrimental to his emotional development,
Joker thought, understanding how out of control he'd just become.
You almost saw something freaky, kid,
he said to the child. Slowly, carefully, Joker clicked the button on the intercom.
Sorry. Please just leave it in front of the door,
Joker said meekly. Of course, the man said on the other end.
Tell me, Batman,
Joker thought to himself as he hunched over the child once more.
When are we gonna wake from this nightmare?
Another night fell upon Gotham, sirens ringing in the cool moonlit air. Although this particular night, one man was on a mission.
Someone once said, evil is like an illness. If that's true, I got a bad case of it,
thought Johnny Frost, Joker's foremost lieutenant.
Picture the Joker as a merciless disease that's eating away at a poor patient. That's me.
Johnny stares up at the apartment building where he knows his boss stays.
Mr. Joker,
he says before going inside.
I haven't heard from you since the day before yesterday. I'm a worrywart, so I came to check on you.
Johnny crushes his cigarette on the cold concrete and marches inside. Sullenly, Johnny walks the halls of the bleak apartment building.
Mr. Joker, you're charisma personified.
He practices what he'll say as he approaches the door.
You always show me things I've never seen before. I decided to become a big man by serving under you.
But when Johnny reaches the door, he's surprised to find it swung open. He looks down and sees a small shoebox with a note atop it. Don't ring the bell, it reads. If you do, I'll kill you. Signed, the Joker. Johnny carefully swings the front door open wider. He announces his presence, knowing his boss can be a bit jumpy when frightened.
I'm coming in, Mr. Joker,
Johnny says aloud, his brain thinking one step ahead of his mouth.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
But again, to Johnny's surprise, he finds the apartment completely empty. Boxes and bags are strewn across the ground. The place is an absolute pigsty by anyone's standards.
It's like someone tore the place apart. Was there a fight in here?
Johnny wonders.
Or wait, is it just really messy? Which is it?
Posted on the wall, Johnny sees a switchblade embedded into an alphabet poster.
The alphabet?
Johnny wonders to himself.
Some kind of code? I can't make heads or tails of it.
He turns to leave, completely creeped out by what he's seen so far.
I'd better not stick around here for long,
he decides. But as his foot comes down on the floor, a toy car takes his legs completely out from under him. As Johnny careens to the ground, his head hits the corner of the nearby table.
Ow!
He yells.
What did I step on?
Johnny lifts the toy off the floor and looks at it, confused.
A toy truck? What's it doing on the floor? What the hell is this place?
Behind him, an eerie figure snakes its way out of the shadows as Johnny talks to himself.
Something is definitely going on here. Where's Mr. Joker?
Johnny boy, whispered the Joker from behind the man, horrifying the man beyond recognition.
Would you mind keeping it down?
Initially, Johnny is horrified by what he thinks is some sort of firearm being held to his temple. But as he turns, he realizes Joker actually is pushing the end of a baby bottle against his cheek.
I finally got him to nod off,
the Joker continued quietly.
Who are you?
Johnny exclaimed, managing to surprise even the clown prince of crime himself.
What did you do to Mr. Joker?
Johnny yelled.
Hey, wait, that's me,
Joker told him, but Johnny wasn't hearing it.
Liar,
he yelled.
Look closely,
Joker told him.
I don't have my makeup on, but I've got green hair and bleached white skin. You ever seen anyone else fitting that description?
Joker asked pointedly. Johnny's eyes widened as realization struck.
It is you. I couldn't tell. But why don't you have makeup on?
Why no makeup?
Joker laughed as he held up the baby Batman.
I didn't have any time to put it on with this little brat around.
Johnny stared openly at the Joker holding a toddler in his arms, not believing his own eyes.
Mr. Joker, that baby,
Johnny managed to say. A few minutes later, and Johnny had regained his senses. So, the baby is Batman. I get it, he said.
That's wild.
Joker's eyes turned to him harshly.
I love Batman so much that I finally cracked. That's what you're thinking, isn't it?
Joker accused Johnny. No, his henchman assured him. Of course, it's so sudden it's hard to believe. But there's a connection between this baby and the matter you told me to check out the other day, Johnny told the Joker. The goon handed his boss a sealed envelope. Inside were images of the laboratory that the Joker and Batman had been battling in days prior. The chemical factory where you and Batman fought. It seems the factory was producing a wonder drug called Unchanging, Johnny told his master. I guess a small quantity has a powerful effect. Joker stared down at the evidence.
I see. De-aging,
he muttered to himself. Johnny scooped up the infant himself, losing himself in the adorable chubbiness of the baby Batman. Still, you know, if you overlook the fact that he's Batman, he's a really cute kid, Johnny said absent-mindedly. The Joker's face took on a new, dark expression.
Well, I'll be, Johnny boy. Looks like you're an old hand with babies.
Johnny rocked Bruce back and forth. I was scared too at first, he reassured the clown. 'Cause babies are so soft. Oh, I got 2 rugrats of my own in elementary school and high school. We don't live together now, but I was around for this part, Johnny said, a smile on his face. This brings back memories. Joker stared through dead eyes as Johnny went through the motions, burping and comforting the child far better than the Ace of Knaves had been.
Watch the kid for a few. I'm gonna fix my face,
the Joker said strangely as he walked off into the other room.
You're smiling a lot, kiddo. Are you taking after Papa Joker?
Johnny asked the child in a silly voice. As Joker applied his makeup once more, Johnny couldn't help but continue rambling on as he watched the child. And I bet you've become attached to him, Mr. Joker. After all, this is when kids are cutest. Johnny just didn't know when to stop himself. You'll get through this stage with ease, he told the Joker. He's gonna keep getting cuter and cuter. Just wait till he starts to talk. The Joker's lip curled as Johnny's words wore against him like nails on a chalkboard. Eventually, he'll go, Papa, and come toddling along after you. I swear, you'll get all the feels. Without warning, the Joker's hand came back and swung out in a brutal backhand. He smacked Johnny hard in the jaw as his rage that had been building over days finally had an outlet to be released.
Moron! I don't want to hear about how he's gonna get cuter and cuter,
Joker roared at his henchman.
Didn't you tell me just a minute ago that right now is when babies are cutest?
Joker was screaming at Johnny mercilessly, letting out the pent-up anger and frustration that he'd had to keep under control in front of baby Batman.
And what are you doing? Asserting your child-raising superiority over me? You make me want to blow chunks!
Joker erupted at Johnny in full makeup once again and seeming more like his old self than ever. Johnny quickly realized what he'd done. The man fell to the floor in apology as Joker snatched the child away from his grasp. I'm sorry, I was out of line, Johnny yelled out as he went to his knees, praying that his mistake hadn't been his last. I know I was out of line, and you may kill me for this, but please, let me just say one thing. Johnny begged, then gulped, worried he might just make things worse for himself. You should put that kid in daycare, he offered to Joker, praying his advice might be enough to spare his life. Johnny continued, Gotham City's got nursery schools. At this rate, you won't be able to rob a single bank until the kid's in elementary school. Joker's eye flashed over to the kneeling man, pure evil pulsing deep within his pupils.
A nursery school in Gotham, you say?
The Joker's hair-raising voice spoke up.
Tell me more, Johnny,
the Clown Prince of Crime ordered. Turning into a baby is pretty outlandish, but then again, Batman is no stranger to crazy. He was once killed by an AI after all.